whoever does well on either teams will have an added advantage for their squads.
And you know what? We'll add in the emotional value as well. I think right now, Twisted Minds having taken game 1 in such a fashion as well, you are feeling the momentum coming in, right? You have the motivation to try and win as well. So Twisted Minds, I think if they get that first blood, BTR are in for an extremely tough time.
It's a domino effect coming in from both sides, right? If Twisted Minds win this game too, it's gonna be a feels-good moment for them. But if BTR loses this game too, they're gonna be even feeling the pressure added on towards their shoulder as the IKL champs of Falcon. They are Indonesia's hopes itself. This is game 2 between Bigetron by Vitality on towards the red side and Twisted Minds towards the blue side. Casters, you're live.
That's it. We are getting into game number 2 between Twisted Minds and BTR. Twisted Minds surprisingly drafting 2 of the national heroes here, obviously the Garuda as well as the Lapu Lapu, but you can add the CDK Quick Strike to redeem tons of Star Stones, Arcade Fragments, and other things as well. But right now we're having to tip into that mid lane just once again. Just the roams, mid lane, just having a bit of a brawl.
Yeah, I think it's great, right? Because you definitely want the advantage. You want that faster rotation as well. And like you mentioned before, City Boy on this Lapu Lapu, as well as Highlang on this Garuda, the 2 national heroes, they're going to be very pivotal in these team fights because not only do they have massive amounts of control, they have massive amounts of poke as well. And that's going to be a steep price to pay for BTR if they don't wrestle the lead away.
Exactly. I mean, to be honest, they have Ormson on the Liampo as well, right? So I feel like they do have their own kind of like upset of the motion of the ocean that Lapu Lapu can really try and compose here for the side of Twisted Minds. So I feel like team fight potential between these 2 teams are within like the long-range outpost of Highlang with the obviously Wings of Judgment is going to be something that's pretty much 50-50 here for me.
Yeah, but it's starting to not be fair because they've taken the space right on the top, right? And Twisted Minds, this pacing is extremely fast. And the later we go into perhaps the middle of the game, City Boy is not only just able to tank, he's able to get the damage in as well.
Correct. So he's able to do damage and tank up both of those. It's going to be super duper helpful into these team fights as well. Rotation down to the bot side of the map here is going to be, well, to the mid lane, sorry, it's going to be Yukio Tachibana. The clean in the potential setup here. Obviously, we see that Ormson is in the enemy jungle, just kind of like circumventing around there, trying to get the intel for the side of BTR.
Yeah, they wanted to attempt that lane freeze on the side of Zan, right? But right away,
which obviously that's not really going to happen much there as well. Obviously using those creation blocks just to block out those wings.
Well, great news for the side of BTR. They didn't have to burn the flash. At the same time, Highlang, he's open to do this. The cooldowns for that Wings of Judgment aren't that long. And with that, they get a small steal on the task force, which every little lead matters.
Every little bit helps here for the side of Twisted Minds, as we've seen in game number 1. They like to just kind of keep that steady momentum of that goal lead, whether it be 200, whether it be 1,000, whether it actually might not even formulate at all, but still they'd like to keep that pressure on because it's just another pressure point, pain point here for the side of BTR to contest with.
I mean, BTR on a timer against this Shanks farming, right? The moment Shanks gets that frigid charge, then all of that attacking prowess is going to be amplified on this Marco Polo. So until then, BTR have their timer to shut him, get him down at least once. If they don't do that, Twisted Minds will be on a roll.
Twisted Minds on a roll here, potentially in game number 2. But right now, we're still not yet having that first blood coming through. Obviously, it's right about the 4-minute mark as we are approaching. Tyrant coming through soon. Use the Burst Ram as well as the Magma Slam there, just to keep in line and keep in check Twisted Minds.
And it feels like Twisted Minds are playing with the extra member, right? Every single time you see Top Z, he's like in a 2v1 situation, which means they have space at the bottom.
They do have space to be opening up here as well, using the Rolling Ray to trip out a little bit of that damage before the 4-minute mark, and that turret plating does fall off of the side of BTR and Twisted Minds, but definitely having that pressure created down to the bot side is going to potentially make an easier takedown of that Tyrant, but these creation blocks are really starting to put a bit of a spanner in the works for Twisted Minds.
Yeah, we'll see how they do that, right? Twisted Minds, Highlang, as long as he has his ultimate, I think it's a good situation, good fight for them to take.
Oh, okay, there it is. The wings are just being used here. Try to put some pressure onto Ormson. I mean, it's not really going to do much here other than kind of separate the Liempo from the Pei, but now Pei having a bit of a short start here onto the Tyrant as well, and then you've got also John just constantly putting that bottom pressure on as well, so it is going to be a free Tyrant here for the side of BTR, but can they get a little bit more as they try to invade the enemy jungle? They are able to get the Crimson Golem away from them as well, so definitely starting to take a little bit more of these resources away from Twisted Minds.
Yeah, very smart understanding of the game for the side of BTR, right? Knowing that, hey, Twisted Minds have actually committed quite a few ultimates. While they did not use the flash, it is still a difficult fight for the side of Twisted Mind. So they went all in on towards their Tyrant. At the same time, they knew that they had it. ZaNQ didn't use his smite, so he smited away the Crimson Golem. Very smart from BTR.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you're kind of like not going to be contested and you know you have that intel that the enemy jungle is not going to be nearby and you can save that for something else, it's worth doing, right? Because obviously, like you were saying, it's going to quicken up the rotation, quicken the denial of these resources onto the side of Twisted Minds, but does Twisted Minds clean decide to go into the enemy jungle of BTR when that time is up for their Crimson?
We'll see. It's going to be a difficult trade.
Ooh, speaking of trades, here it's a 1v1 between Tron and Shanks. And Shanks, out comes that one with obviously his, not Fever Barrage, but his Splendid Revolver.
Yeah, Shanks showing them that there is a gap between him and Zan, and he will step it out, you know, just by a little bit at this point. Attempted Annihilation did not hit the mark.
Yep, it did not hit the mark, but maybe the Trevor Smash will be able to lock him into place. Clean gets taken down.
Yep, he is the jungler. He's the most important member right now in this early part of the game. Twisted Minds have suffered a little bit of damage, but thankfully they have 90, making that split push. They get the T1 at the top as a trade.
Pressure being put on top side of the map here for the side of Twisted Minds is obviously just going to negate that one, but then lost down to the bot side here as well. But look to kind of test this Crimson Golem once again. They get it away. ZaNQ gets out alive as well. So all's fair in love and war.
Yep, 90 though, in the middle of a 2v1, will be able to just cut it out for the moment. Right now, Twisted Minds, they need to regain control of the map because BTR has been slowly edging their way into the blue side.
They are doing exactly that, Ken. They are looking to edge this one out for the side of BTR, maybe potentially even edge the point of the game, but they're trying to use the Annihilations very well here. Neil on the Nua, like you were saying in the introduction of this series, is one of those heroes you got to watch out for because his performance on this one has been second to none.
Yeah, I think it's dependent on his farm, right? The rate of farm so far, not as fast as Highline, but that's also because Highline is one of the fastest lane clearers in the mid lane. Now we'll see how they try and transition this into a T1 take, and this is going to be the long-range poke from Highline.
Yeah, shooting the Magma Slam there just to get that CC immunity, so you know for a fact Clean can't dive on and get that CC from his Blaze. His Heavenly Strike there, but Emergence trying to be fainted out here for the side of BTR. 90 and Shanks looking to take the T1 down to the bot side of the map as well. Maybe a potential split push here into the mid lane, but no minions crashing in yet.
I mean, that's a great response from the KMW representatives, right? Right now, BTR, they have a choice to make, and they need to get this T1 on the top, or it's going to be an unfair advantage for Twisted Minds going on for the pressure in this T1 in the mid.
Yeah, just looking to get some pressure in that mid lane, looking to try and get that final T1 away from the side of BTR, but you know for a fact this team is going to hold on to it, right? Like, they know that this is a very precious objective as well as this Crimson Golem, and they're able to get it away 3 times, and now it goes over to John as well. So that's a good little bit of resource take from the side of BTR once more.
I like the timing on this, right? So Twisted Minds, 90, he's consistently checking the jungle, right? Now, can we get a response? Can we open up the space so that Clean can come for the invade? But every single time he's there is no Crimson buff to steal.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's just kind of, you see here, ZaNQ's just playing to timers as well. Obviously, it is going to be up in around about 6 seconds, so there could be a potential play here for that Crimson Golem.
Kafzi is going to be able to just kite them out, and this is going to secure the Crimson buff into the hands of Zan. Now, this is going to be a very important marker. While this will not last until the 10-minute Shadow Variant fight, for now, if they can take a big kill here, that's going to help aid them in settling the goal difference.
Yeah, I think either team that takes this mid lane fight into their favor, it's definitely going to be a resounding pressure for the enemy team. But now we're seeing a bit of a take here for that second Tyrant here. But now Twisted Minds like, no, we really want to commit this one, but it's going to be those creation blocks forcing away the Lapu Lapu.
Not looking good for Twisted Minds though. City Boy did waste his ultimate there, did not find a single target, and Zan does have the damage, he does have the armor pierce as well. Nice Annihilation, and that's going to provide space. ZaNQ gets that 8.5-minute Tyrant. Not the Shadow Variant just yet, but this is fighting prowess, which means they can pressure the T1.
Yeah, just looking trying to get that mid-wave clear for the side of Twisted Minds here. Obviously, there's one Canyon minion, and they don't want to really push this because they could really lose a lot here, BTR, if they play this one not to the T.
I mean, at this point, it's really about applying pressure, right? Make life uncomfortable. Even if you have to give it back, to them, make it hard to take.
Yeah, 90 just kind of flirting with Tufts there into his own jungle. He's just like, hey, if you're trying to get into the back line of my team, I'm just going to deny you at all angles. And that's exactly what happened there. But You can see now Junku trying to rotate top side of the map here, and City Boy and Shanks are looking to try and get this one with a bit of a response there. It's going to be the Lapu Lapu ultimate being committed here by the side of Twisted Minds. Can they get a little bit more? Can he outplay? But it's going to be Trevor Smash coming in. Can he connect onto 3? No, it's going to be Shanks. He does use the Fever Barrage into the back line, and ultimately this goes all over to BTR.
Yeah, big play coming in from 90 as well. He was the reason that the response wasn't fast enough.
Oh, takedown. Tubbs come through, but they're able to claim back that Crimson Golem from the side of BTR.
Okay, valuable for the side of BTR because they did lose their jungler. Now, in 10 seconds, Zankyu is going to be out. But Twisted Minds, they haven't found that premier and, you know, prio positioning to be able to steal this Shadow Tyrant away just yet.
Just yet, but you can see Clean trying to formulate around the backside of this Shadow Tyrant here. Maybe trying to go use the skill over the wall just like so. Trying to see Neil here use the creation blocks, just trying to force away Lapu Lapu. There's the Wings and Judgment as well being used by the side of Twisted Mind HIGHLIGTS, just to try and force away BTR from trying to get this steal on, but now they go in, they're looking for it more. The Annihilation comes through, but it's actually going to be Orbson there with a devastating burst ram into the Tremor Smash, but now this is BTR's team fight to lose. They lose Tubbs, and obviously onto the side of Twisted Minds, they lose City Boy, but now Junkie into the back line takes down Shanks.
Beautiful team fight. Tubbs gave everything in that fight with the Truth Mantra as well, and they find an opening onto the backlines of Twisted Minds. Shanks, that was a nice attempt with the Fever Barrage. Unfortunately, the angle was not right, and with the downfall on City Boy as well, that really costed them the fight because the control was not there, the tank was not there as well. Look at the Tubbs positioning as well. He pushed them back. Now, the Annihilation value didn't come through that much, but because of the ability to push Shanks in the wrong direction, that really changed the whole fight for the side of BTR.
Exactly. One move to the left means you are further away from the right angle, and that is what we saw there from Twisted Minds. We're seeing a team fight. Top side might be created here from the side of BTR, but City Boy getting the clean kill there onto Ormson. They're looking for blood in that support role.
Yep, he's looking for an opening. Oh, they know.
Oh, no. Sandwich, it's a Twisted Mind sandwich, but now Tubbs comes into the fold to try and make that one outplay, but it's going to be the Seriousness with the whatevers, the catch there, but Neil with the Annihilation as well as Junku there. Getting the kill on City Boy is a huge play.
This is what we wanted. Neil is that win condition, especially when the fight gets messy, right? Those matrixes have been to the success of BTR. The only thing for the side of BTR is they have not found a way to equalize the goal or even get the goal lead. So that is going well for the side of Twisted Minds.
It is, but I mean, they are winning the team fights, right? So if they keep winning these team fights and keep the minion pressure wave here and obviously getting these resources, these objectives to their names, they could easily turn around here for BTR.
Yeah, but we need to see the map control as well, right? Right now, both teams almost neck and neck, right? Twisted Minds has taken one more tower, but it's also the most important tower here. All the T1s have been taken down. Actually, you know what? BTR also have taken 3 towers.
Exactly, yeah. It's even Stevens. This is what I'm talking about. You've got your Twisted Minds jersey on under that jacket. I can tell.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not gonna lie, I have it. But it's not with me, it's in the dressing room. Now, right now, okay, there's a reason why they only have 2. I didn't see a tower on the top. The sliver of health on the T1 on the top.
That Radiance being committed there really kind of locked Ormson into this play. Just like, you know what, I'm gonna have to use the burst ram there as well as the Magma Slam just to kind of just keep myself alive. But that attempt to the bot side of the map there, trying to take that T2, wasn't quite as successful as I think BTR really wanted for.
I mean, respectable damage right there. That's what we need. Right now, Tubsy does have the flash Truth Mantra combination. They will take the T1 at the top because they're pulling the attention of Twisted Mind members down. BTR, they're going to take a T2 as well. Instant structural damage coming in. But Twisted Minds, Shanks has the Frigid Charge. This could definitely change the fight.
Frigid Charge being built here for Shanks, maybe trying to get a potential lock onto either one of these heroes onto the side of BTR. Potentially one of the squishier ones, right? Maybe try and lock it onto Zan, but now we're going to see an attack onto that top T2 for the side of Twisted Minds. But all they need to do is get one more rolling raid. But to be honest, Twisted Minds hold this one off.
Play safe, right? You can see 90 is already hiding in the corner. If they make a mistake, especially Zankyu, of not checking before he goes towards that mid T2, he might be taking out Tufts. Luckily, he will be able to find them out.
Yeah, he's the one looking for that phase check there, but it's also going to be Tufts that's fine in the way. It's going to be the double knock up here for 90. Can he get the escape here thanks to the Wings of Judgment from HIGHLIGTS?
Yep, that element's not going to be too effective at this point, and this is something big, right? They need to contest for this.
Speaking of contention, just burst ramming in there, just trying to get the T's onto the side of Twisted Minds, but now Junkie into the back line, try and potentially get the pick up onto 90 here as well. Clean, not quite getting that stun come through, but now it's going to be the DAC team of Tufts and John2 getting the pick up there onto Clean. Now they have no smite as we get those neutral objectives on board here, but it's going to be those wings adjustment. It's casting the judgment from afar and getting the takedown on the Tufts.
But beautiful work from side of BTR. They got the better exchange of that fight itself, and with that, the reward is the Shadow Tyrant. Now they're going to be able to have fighting powers in their hands, and Zan has not been touched in the entire fight. The split fight strategy working out well for the side of BTR.
It's working out very well. He's definitely kind of getting out of these team fights and into these team fights with little scars intended onto himself, and in terms of the damage not quite being translated onto those health bars of BTR. But now we're looking at around about, what, a 2k gold lead here for BTR. They've got the clear advantage into the side lanes as well. Maybe they want to kind of try and contest this push down to the bot side of the map. You can see that Shanks is trying to create.
Yeah, he's going to try and do his best here because they need all the help they can get. 12,500, that's the goal that ZanQ has at the moment, which means he is 6 slotted. Now the two farm laners, they have been back and forth, but there is a slightly going into the hands of Shanks here, but they're very close. 1,000 away from that 12k mark to get the final item in their inventory.
Yeah, it's looking like it's going to be the Succubus Cloak for the side of Shanks on Twisted Minds here. He wants to kind of alleviate the damage that's coming from Neil here as we potentially get into the late game. He's definitely going to need as much magic defense as possible here, using that burst Magma Slam there just to keep himself in line, keeping himself in check there. It's going to be Ormson just getting that intel for his buddies.
I mean, it's the same for City Boy, right? The two roamers actually at this point in the game are super important because they are the ones that will put you in an awkward position. Now, Annihilation does not hit the mark, but Neil has about 30 seconds before their ultimate comes down again. Emergence upside the map here as well. We are seeing a bit of a reconvene from the side of Twisted Minds. Going to knock up from Lapu, and there it is. Going to be the serious get into whatevers. But now, Neil's like, whatever you do on that Mayeen, I'm going to completely destroy you. You have to be careful. Shanks can change the fight. He does have the frigid charge with the Fever Barrage as well.
He does. He's circulating onto the back line here. He's maybe trying to find a way in as well. But now we are seeing that the Overlord does go over to the side of Twisted Mind, over to BTR here. So, in terms of the neutral objectives, BTR has been very dominant.
Yes, and they're very disciplined, right? They were disciplined in game number 1, but not thorough. And right now, BTR have learned from their mistake in game number 1. It's looking like a clean control in this second half of game number 2.
Looking to test that one. They do get it over to the side of BTR, going over to Neil as well. So Clean, not going to have that Azure Golem for much longer as well. He obviously has one already, gets a stun onto John2, but it's okay. He gets out alive thanks to Ormson here playing that frontline play. But now, John, look, trying to feed these minions through top side of the map.
They have to do as much structural damage as they can. 90 will make the defense really strong from the side of Twisted Minds, but they have lost the T2 in the middle, and now the Gorge gets so much darker for the side of Twisted Minds.
Very dark indeed, with the Shadow Vanguard being placed down to the bot side of the map here for the side of BTR. Do they decide to all commit for this push here? But as you can see, Tufts is kind of formulating around about mid lane. Maybe try and get a bit of a split push here, come through for both of these two teams.
It's all on Ormson, right? If he gets the perfect Tremor Smash, this could be a game-winning ultimate coming in from BTR.
It could. He has the flash, he has the ultimate on cooldown, he has the momentum to change this team fight and change the scoreboard so far into the favor, or at least neutralize it for BTR.
Yeah, bear in mind that Ormson, when he uses his skills, he's going to be CC immune. If he manages to force out the Purify as well as the Frigid Charge from Shanks just as a defensive measure, then BTR can definitely win a big time in this fight. But for Twisted Minds, I think it's really reliant on HIGHLIGTS ultimate as well as 90. Can he get those catches?
Catching indeed could be the case here for the side of Twisted Minds. You can see here City Boy as well as Clean just trying to find some kind of entrance into that into the Tyrant there, but it's not going to be the case for Twisted Minds in this game number 2. They are really struggling at trying to topple these neutral objective takedowns from BTR.
They can't, right? Because the poke, long-range poke on the side of BTR from Neil right now is very strong. He is at the late game, level 15, probably close to a full 6 slots at the same time. We are hitting the Tempest Dragon, so that is a silver lining for Twisted Minds.
Yeah, that's why it all turned around for Twisted Minds the last game as well, so they have to be holding on to that one as their prize pony, but they are going to be throwing out those long-range ultimates like the Annihilation there just to get that takedown, that T3 down to the bot side of the map. So once again, BTR have been able to do it, but can they approach the base this time?
Yeah, first cut has been made, and a very deep one on the bottom side, because this is the corresponding map, corresponding spawning point to that potential Tempest Dragon here.
Yes, potential Dragon spawning onto the gorge here in around about 40 seconds, let's say, give or take. You can see the two teams formulating here, trying to get the push into the mid lane, trying to force down minion waves, top side of the map as well here. Just trying to put as much pressure as possible onto the side of Twisted Mind.
Yeah, we haven't seen the stages sanctuary barriers yet coming up from the side of BTR, so this is going to be important, but 90
and Turf's having a bit of a tap for love in that mid lane there, but the emergence comes through from Neil. Has to force 90 out of that.
Right, so how safe can BTR play, right? How much can they push back the side of Twisted Minds so that they can try and find that ultimate snipe or maybe a surprise kill onto a singular member on the side of Twisted Minds? The ideal target obviously will be clean so that you don't have to deal with the smite 50-50. But for now, we'll see what kind of conditions they'll be left with because they have abandoned the bottom side. BTR that is, we'll see, 50-50.
Yeah, abandonment could be the issue here for the side of BTR, but now Tempest Dragon onto the gorge here for the second time within this series. It feels like we're going to see 7 of these Tempest Dragons because both of these two teams are playing very evenly, very neck and neck within this tournament live game.
Okay, HIGHLIGHTS has used his Wings of Judgment. Shanks is looking for an opening for that big ultimate. He does have Frozen on his hands. This is going to be very important.
Very important indeed. He has the freeze on his hands here. Obviously the upgrade of the Frigid Charge could be very scary for the side of Twisted Minds. You can see Jungkook looking for a bit of a rotate into the back side of the map here. Maybe try and go for a bit of a Hail Mary backdoor here as well. Just say to the boys, like, you know what? If you can hold off the Tempest, I'll tunnel through the minions. And as you can see now, maybe looking to join the team fight is going to be Sage's Sanctuary, Jungkook.
Oh, super smart. They actually tried to get a reset. City Boy!
Uh-oh, City Boy maybe getting caught out here. He already commits that Lapa ultimate there, but it's going to be clean with the Sage's Sanctuary and Jungkook into the backline there, trying to put pressure onto HIGHLIGHTS, but ultimately 90 and HIGHLIGHTS do fall here, but can they get something from the side of BTR? Neil falls as well, and Tufts tries to get the takedown here onto Shanks as well. He's taken those Fever Barrage to the face, but now we see Jungkook trying to get those minions to the base of Twisted Minds.
They have shut down Jungkook. That's a great answer from the side of Twisted Minds, but they cannot stop the Tempest. There is no long range take. BTR should have this in the bag from the Tempest Dragon. What they do next will affect the outcome of this game. Tufzy, he secures it for BTR. The challenge, the time is now.
Time is now for the side of BTR to try and get a final push here as we have 3 members of the side of Twisted Minds down, or at least trying to get that top team through.
Yeah, we'll see, right? If they can break and make the base empty on the side of Twisted Minds, this will be a tough challenge to come back from. But at the same time, BTR, they can do much more than that as well. Once those Tempest Vanguards start spawning, they can potentially take the crystal.
They can. Everything to potential here for the side of BTR. I always use this phrase, but it is definitely BTR's game to lose this time around now. Obviously, they are able to push the base of Twisted Minds all the way to those T3s into the mid and into the bot side of the map here. Maybe just trying to get that trifecta is going to make it a much more easier assault onto the base.
News going in, they want to find an opening. The reason why BTR is not really pushing this wave is because they wanted to crash at the same time, right? That makes life even more difficult for Twisted Minds.
And that's what you don't want to do, right? I mean, that's what you want to do if you're BTR, but Twisted Minds, you don't have a difficult life as you have that T3 just kind of holding on for its dear life top side of the map right now. Trying to get the push here is going to be BTR, trying to use the rolling rage to force out those minions, but there he goes. It's going to be the T3 takedown into the top side of the map here for the side of BTR. Twisted Minds looking very unhealthy in this game number 2.
And this is going to be the last wave of Tempest Dragons. BTR have one more chance before it resets to square number 1. And you can see Jungkook's looking for an open target. They want to push them back. They want the backdoor protection down.
They do. They want to get 90 off the gorge here, and there it is. It's going to be a little bit of a poker prod from the burst from there, but the Radiance is going to be committed there. But Lapu goes in with the ultimate, but nobody's dead. Follow up to the side of Twisted Minds. 90 tries to come in with the one, gets the knock-up, and now we see Ormson get the takedown, and Zan onto City Boy. 90 clean go down. There it is. The IKL fans can rejoice. Game number 2 goes to BTR.
And what a way to come back. IKL comes alive in game number 2, this time super